Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've enjoyed my previous video on the iPhone 12 comparison or which suits you, and also the iPhone 12 Pro, which I brought it up for a day of shooting with my family. But today I'm going to talk about the difference between the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, because a couple of friends have been asking me which one should I get. So I'll try to list out the differences and you can decide which one suits you. Number one is the cameras. So obviously the Pro version has 3 cameras compared to the normal iPhone 12, which only has 2 cameras. So the additional one is the telephoto lens, which is an aperture of f2.0. So this also gives you a wider optical range. So instead of a 2x range, because the iPhone 12 only has 2 cameras, so you get a range of 2 times, but the iPhone 12 Pro has 4 times, because it gives you additional 2x range. So bottom line, you get a longer zoom distance. And it also, the Pro version also has LiDAR, which I believe it's what they call light and data ranging. Okay, basically it uses pulsing laser light to measure distances, so especially in low light conditions. So LiDAR is actually very useful in low light, where it allows quick autofocusing. So usually you won't have that in the 12, but you will have that in the 12 Pro. So that's the camera setup for you. The key differences is there physically. Now we'll talk about the outlook or the banding itself. So for the iPhone 12, it has an aluminum banding. So there's aluminum banding for the iPhone 12 and a stainless steel banding for the Pro version. So it really depends on which one you prefer. Personally, I like the iPhone 12 Pro's aluminum banding, but it's a real fingerprint magnet, so it tends to have a lot of smudges. But the back is matte, so again, because the back is matte, you don't get so much of the fingerprints on the back, but you do get more on the edges because it's stainless steel. For the iPhone 12, the back is glass, so you do get more smudges on the back, but because of the sides are aluminum, so you don't get that. So personally, that's why I prefer the iPhone 12 Pro. And this is matte feel, so it doesn't have so much of fingerprint smudges. Obviously, the iPhone 12 is lighter. It weighs 162 grams versus the iPhone 12 Pro, which is at 187 grams. So it's slightly heavier, largely due to the stainless steel banding. And internally, the iPhone 12 starts at 64 GB, and for the iPhone 12 Pro, it starts at 128 GB up to 512. So for the iPhone 12, it stops at 256 GB. So depending on whether you need a lot of storage space, if you need 512, then you can only go for the Pro version. And speaking of the size, 64 GB for the iPhone 12 will set you back at $1,299. And for the 12 Pro, which starts at 128 GB, that goes for $1,649. So that is the pricing that you can get in Singapore. Internally, again, you do have differences in terms of functions. So the Pro version has this Apple ProRAW mode, which basically allows you to take photos in RAW mode, and you can use that to post-process. So for those who are serious photographers, I'm sure you know that you want to shoot in RAW, so get a full dynamic range, right? So that you can do post-processing later on. But those who don't need RAW mode, then of course the iPhone 12 is more than sufficient. Also, you do have night mode portrait only on the iPhone 12 Pro, so you don't have that on the 12. HDR Dolby Vision recording is available for both phones, but the iPhone 12 only records up to 30 frames per second, but for the Pro, it goes up to 60 frames per second. So this explanation or this video tends to show that this is more for Pro users, meaning if you need it to take it more seriously in terms of video or for camera or for photo recording, the phone that you should go for. And if you want to go for even better, of course, wait for the Pro Max, which has in-body stabilization. So that is something that is very different, and that could be the ultimate camera phone for you. As for me personally, I like the handling and the weight of the iPhone 12 Pro. I like the aluminum banding, and of course the matte finish here, which has less fingerprint smudges. And overall, I find the camera very useful, and I do shoot a bit more videos and photos. So the Dolby Vision at 60 frames per second is very helpful. It allows me to slow down the footage. And the camera, of course, in low light, due to the LiDAR sensor, allows me to shoot and autofocus faster. So that's my take on the differences. So again, it's really up to you what you decide, right? So stay tuned and hope to do more videos like this in future for you.